Hello, 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 brothers, hello, sisters. Come on in this house. Come on in this house. It's dinner time. Your Chef Tony got some good food for you this evening, some good soul food. I want you all to come in. I hope that you're starving and you look hungry for this meal that I'm gonna serve you this evening. So come on in, come on in. I want you all to take off your shoes, relax, and come around the dinner table, my family and friends, so we can get into this good content tonight. I hope that you all had a good day today as your brother Tony. I had a very, very good day. As a matter of fact, I feel excellent. I feel blessed with a twist of serenity. That's how your brother Tony is rolling today, and I hope that you all are feeling good today. How you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? I see you, John Hancock, down there. How you doing, sister? Come on in, brother. Come on in, sister, for dinner time. It's time for us to get into this good show tonight. How you doing, Sister Sherry E. Smith? How you doing? How you doing? Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. It's dinner time. Dinner time, dinner time, dinner time. I hope that you all got an empty stomach. How you doing, my little sister, Ronda Renee Toomer? How you doing? How you doing? Come on, come on, come on in. Don't sit in the back. Come close to the front. We got plenty of seats at the dinner table, so come on in. Grab your chair. Bring a friend on in. We got some good food tonight. How you doing, mother? I see your John Hancock down there. Come on in, come on in. We got a few more seconds. We're going to let a few more people come in, and then we're going to get to the dinner tonight. Courtesy of your Chef Tony. So come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, 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 my brothers and sisters out there. How you doing this evening? I hope that all of you are doing well. Come on around the dinner table so we can get some of this good soul food for tonight. If this is your first time, my brother and sister, looking at this broadcast, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship pertaining to that of a man and a woman that should be serious, that should move to the commitment and the covenant relationship. A man and a woman, when it comes to a relationship, a man and woman should move towards. How you doing, Sister Katrina? How you doing? Katrina Rump, how you doing? My old workmate, how you doing? My brother and sister, these are three steps that, well, not steps, but three hurdles that you need to jump over when it comes to a relationship. You need to be serious. You must invest in that person. You need to be committed. I talk about verbally commit, so that man and woman does not have to guess where you're coming from. Then you move towards the covenant relationship. As I have always told you, my brother and sister, God does not look for a man and woman to date all their life. God does not look for a man and woman just to live with one another and play husband and wife for their life. God wants the covenant relationship. The world will settle for being serious and committed, but God wants you to go all the way. That's the difference between God and the world. And my brother and sister, those of you that are here, I want you to be aware of this. I strictly believe in the relationship of that between a man and a woman from a biblical standpoint. When I say a biblical standpoint, when you look in the book of Genesis, God created the man Adam first. He had a very unique relationship with Adam. Secondly, he had a very unique relationship with the woman Eve. He represented the woman to the man Adam. And Adam said in the presence of God, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. God did not create two men at the beginning. He did not create two women. So it was one man and one woman. How you doing, Sister Douglas? So that's the position that I come from. Now, if you are in some other type of relationship, my brother and sister, I encourage you to look at this broadcast and come on and sit at the dinner table because we got a plate for you. So maybe you can learn something, okay? With that said, we're about to get into tonight's content for the night. Why does a man selects a particular woman and rejects another. This is going to be some good food tonight. Why does a man select a particular woman and rejects another? Let's look at the dictionary and see what the word particular means. When we look in the dictionary, the word particular is defined as pertaining to a specific person, thing, or place, or something that is noteworthy or under immediate consideration. Particular, you are noteworthy and you are immediate in consideration. Reject. What does reject mean from the dictionary? It is defined as to dismiss as inadequate, inappropriate, or not to one's taste, or to say it differently, a person or thing dismissed as failing to meet standards or satisfy the taste. Okay? That's what we talk about rejecting. First, the particular, noteworthy, or under immediate consideration. Rejection, fails to meet standards or satisfy the taste. Select, mean to carefully choose as being the best or most suitable. Or to break it down a little further, what is a chosen one? We'll talk about a woman, chosen. That is clearly defined as having been selected as the best or the most appropriate. As it is written, and Jesus was doing the talking, okay? When you talk about choosing, let's see how Jesus did it, okay? As it is written, Jesus said in John 15:16, Jesus said, "You did not choose me. I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last, and so that whatever you ask in the name of the Father, God, the Father, will give it to you." So man is in the image and glory of God. The woman is in the image of God, but she's the glory of the man. So the man supposed to be walking, per se, close to the steps of Christ. Remember, Jesus said, you did not choose me. I chose you. So, brother, when a man and woman meet, the man does the choosing. The man always does the choosing. A woman never chooses. This is what a woman does. A woman either accept or reject the invitation. Just like when Jesus was here on earth, Jesus gave an invitation. Jesus go knocking on doors of the heart. And a man or woman, they were either going to accept Jesus or reject him. There's no middle. So, sister, you never choose a man. You never choose a man because you are not a man. You only agree or reject the man's invitation if he's extending an invitation to you. So never get this twisted. Never get it twisted. Men do the choosing. Women do the actual, I will give you my time and what I have or not. Because remember, God created the man first, not the woman. He created the woman after the man. And we're going to get a little into that a little later. Now the man of the flesh. What is the man of the flesh? The man of the flesh, because there are two types of men that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the fleshly man and the spiritual man. I got to give you this before I get into my content. Now, the man of the flesh is a fallen being, which has a lot of sinful tendencies. And you will know this man by these signs, as it is written in John 1 John 2:16, 1 John 2:16, 1 John 2:16. For everything, this is a worldly man. Listen carefully. A worldly man is like this. For everything in the world is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. This is your worldly man. Notice it don't have nothing about God in the equation. It only pertains to the world. It said the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world. So a man of the flesh, he's a worldly man. Sister, you will never hardly hear a man talk about God that much. This is a clear sign, my sister. He never really talks about God. He's so indoctrinated in the world things. You only hear him talk about worldly things. Most of the time, you're going to hear him talk about things and his desires. Most of the time, these type of men, they talk about getting the bag, which is money. They talk about a whole bunch of materialistic things. They talk about materialistic things, and they talk about women. That's all they world. That's all they know. Things, trying to get things, and women, and they don't even think about their life tomorrow. They think about the here and now. They invest in the here and now. They don't invest in outside this world because they don't have this type of knowledge. They heard it, but they don't understand that they have a beginning date when they came into this world, and they have an expiration date. Worldly men don't think about the world tomorrow. They only think about the here and now. Now, his life is not about God whatsoever. These fleshly guys, sister, you got to understand, these fleshly guys, their life is not about God. And some of you sisters, it's sad to say, some of you, not all of you, some of you sisters, you know it because some of you are dealing with a fleshly man. You never hear him talk about God. You the one, when it comes to spiritual things, you the one who bring up God to him. And when you bring up God to him, he get very quiet. You the one that go to public worship. He prefer to stay at home and do things because he'll say he tired and he'll see you later. He got other things to do. This man is not a leader. He leads from a world standpoint. He's not a spiritual man. You, my sister, when you, sister, deal with a worldly or fleshly man, you are alive and he's dead. Yes, he could talk. Yes, he could see. Yes, he could walk. It appears like he's alive, but he's dead. He's a walking zombie. He need to be on the walking dead. That's all it is. Some of you sisters, you don't realize these fleshly men, they appear to be alive, but they're dead. They don't have the Spirit of the Lord in them, and you do. Some of you sisters, you are in a fantasy mode, and you believe the world by thinking that these type of men will get better. You think that these type of men would get better, but they will never get better, sister. Worldly men never get better. And some of you sisters, not all of you, you subconsciously think that you can change a worldly man to a spiritual man. You can't. You trying to follow God, and if you trying to follow God, sister, this man is going to be your stumbling block. And more than likely, you're going to compromise to make this man happy. You're going to be in turmoil. You're trying to do right by God, but you got this clown over here, and you're trying to please him. And more than likely, this clown is going to overpower you. We talk about the worldly man. Now, remember, we talk about two different men in the topic, why does a man select a particular woman and reject another? Worldly men, they have this ability. Worldly men have the ability to select a particular type of woman and reject another. I'm going to talk about that shortly. Now, there's a man of the Spirit. The man of the Spirit is characterized by he's being led by the Holy Ghost. This is the distinct difference between a man of the world and a spiritual man. The spiritual man, he's led by the Spirit of God, Jesus himself. The spiritual man, he discerns all things, and he himself is subject to no one else's scrutiny. The world cannot judge a spiritual man. They can only judge him by what they think, by using their five senses, what they see, smell, taste, hear, and touch. They don't have spiritual discernment. But a spiritual man does. A spiritual man have a whole boatload of wisdom. A spiritual man have a boatload of knowledge. A spiritual man have a boatload of understanding. A spiritual man have a boatload of discernment. A spiritual man have the ability to take a woman where she never been before. And we're not talking about on the Enterprise. A spiritual man would take a woman beyond where Captain Kirk used to go. A worldly man, could take the woman on the Enterprise. That's all. But a spiritual man, he could go beyond the Enterprise. As it is written in James 4:4. James 4:4. Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. You see, a spiritual man, he's not following the world. You don't hear a spiritual man most of the time talking about the world all the time. He might talk about it in general, but his main focus is not on the world all the time. His main focus is not on women all the time. A spiritual man's main focus is, how can I please the Lord? Even though I'm imperfect, how can I please the Lord? And not only that, a spiritual man look for that godly woman. I'm going to get into that shortly. Now, back to the topic. Why does a man select a particular woman and rejects another? Why does a flesh man select the woman? We're going to talk about why does a flesh man select the woman. This is why a flesh man select the woman. Unbeknown to himself. You see, a worldly man or a fleshly man, he will be characterized. You hear people say stuff like, he's highly intelligent. You're going to hear these type of words. He's highly intelligent. He has it going on. He's very smart. He is popular. He got the bag. He got the big house. He could do all kinds of things. However, he don't have the Spirit of God. That's the worldly man. Now, unbeknown to the worldly man, he will select a woman. But when a worldly man select a woman, unbeknown to him, she will have him thinking that he's the man. You understand? A worldly woman is the best type of woman for a worldly man. And brother and sister, you see a whole lot of worldly men and women around here. They don't have no sense of God. Even though they look good on the outside. Even though they look like they have the American dream. God is not in the picture. Majority of the things that they possess, God did not give it to them. Satan gave it to them. But they would say God did it. But God didn't do it, because you see how they talk and how they move. You could tell that God is not in the picture, but they look good. But the man, the spirit, the fleshly man and the worldly woman, they're both dead. They're both after things of the world. A worldly man, his main thing is, if he's into a woman, his thing is to please the woman all the time. His main thing is to please the woman. His main thing is not to please God. You see, that's a distinct difference between a spiritual man and a worldly man. Worldly men only focus on, if it comes to a woman, pleasing the woman, or better yet, she pleased me. Because most worldly men, they are narcissists. Most worldly men, or they call themselves alpha males, they are worldly. They operate on the world, and most worldly men, they select men or women, especially if they call themselves super alpha, they looking for a weak woman. Those are the type of woman they looking for. They looking for a weak woman. When I say weak, they're looking for a woman that they can run over. They're not looking for, are they looking for a woman that look good on their arms? They're looking for a woman that has to depend on them. Because they love control. These type of men, they love control. And a lot of these women, they allow these worldly men to control them and not the Lord. A lot of the worldly men, they follow these men. You know why a lot of these women follow these men? They follow the men because of false security. They are only looking for security here and now. That's right, Sister Douglas. They accept whatever they tell them. These are the kind of men, sad to say, some of you sisters, you ain't got to raise your hand, but some of you sisters, you have dealt with these type of men. It's sad to say some of you all might secretly be dealing with this type of man, and I'm bringing it to your forefront. Stop with these kind of guys. Worldly men, they say that they love you. How you doing, Brother Larry? Thank you, brother, for coming to dinner tonight. Thank you. Come on, Larry, get your plate. We got plenty of soul food, brother, so you can enjoy this good meal tonight. But anyway, some of these brothers, sisters, you know it. You know within your heart that this man is not following God. You know it within your heart. How do you know it? And I have said it before. Some of you sisters, you know this man never say nothing about God. Have you ever heard him say anything about God? Have you ever heard him say anything about Jesus unless he's on top of you in the bed when he said, "Oh Lord," and all that kind of stuff? Have you ever heard him say something about Jesus in a respectful way? You're not gonna hardly hear it. This what I'm talking about tonight. This is basically for my spiritual brothers and sisters, okay? Now the world, some of the world people, they might be listening to me. Hopefully you also you can get some out of it. Sisters, these worldly men, if you are following the God, sister, these type of men, they're going to try to select you too. They see, but they don't see you. You understand? They see, but they don't see you. They think that you're weird. That's why they choose the worldly women. What are worldly women? Worldly women are those, and you all know the worldly women. They talk about the world stuff. The worldly women are the women that always looking for a man. They have their hands out most of the time. Worldly women have their hands out. They always saying, worldly women say, me, 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 me. He got to do this for me, 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 me. Worldly women are all about me, myself, and I. Worldly women have the concept of he needs to be chasing me. Fleshly men will chase worldly women. Worldly women have fleshly men thinking that they the prize. Run after me. Jump through these hoops. Let me see you do some tricks. I'm the prize. And that's what some of these brothers, you fall into the trap when you trying to follow after worldly women. You don't, if you're a spiritual brother, you don't follow after worldly women. They don't have nothing to offer you at all. They just offer you the here and now. What can a worldly woman offer some of the spiritual brothers? I'm going to get to that shortly. I know y'all ready for me to say that, but I'm going to get to that shortly. But a fleshly man, the only woman that he's going to get is a woman that's secretly looking for security. That's the only thing a worldly man going to get. A woman that's looking for false security. It looked like it's going to last long. She looking for a man that going to take care of her for the rest of her life. How you doing, Sister Angela? She looking for a woman that's going to take care of him. Yes, brother, spiritual brother. These are the kind of women that these fleshly men have. They looking for a man for security. But they ain't no hard to tell the man that they're going to make the man think that they love him. They don't love him. They want to love the particular worldly lifestyle. Now, why does a man or the flesh reject the woman? If it's a worldly man, Listen carefully. If it's a worldly man, he's going to reject a godly woman. You know why he's going to reject a godly woman? Because you are a square. You're square. You're not a circle. You are a square. He can't get you to do what he wants you to do. He wants you to follow him through the world. He wants you to live the broad life. He don't want you to live the spiritual life. Worldly men, fleshly men, they will clash with a spiritual woman. The only thing a fleshly man could get out of a spiritual woman, if he can, is to get her to lay on her back. Or if she got resources. He don't want you. If you're a spiritual woman, a worldly man don't want you. He might pretend to want you, but he really doesn't want you, not for the long haul. He would try to use you like he used these less intelligent worldly women. You know the ones that hang out a lot in the streets? You know the one that got those vulgar talking? You know those one that dress skimpy? You know those kind that do suggestive things, worldly things, to get men to run after them? We talk about those type of women. So sisters, if you're a godly woman, a man of the flesh, he may come after you, but he don't want you long term. He can't handle you because you are a daughter of God. He would try to use you. He would try to break you because you would be a challenge to him. Now, why does a man of the spirit select a woman? Why? How you doing, Ken? Why does a man of the spirit select a woman? Because he knows, as it is written, and I have said this several times, a spiritual man knows this. In 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, it said, and the man was not made for the woman, but the woman was made for a man. A spiritual man never runs after a woman. He's not equipped to run after a woman. He does not see a purpose for running after a woman. A spiritual man does not go look at a woman as going hunting after her. He don't go looking for no woman. That's the thing. Spiritual man don't go looking for women. Some of you said, well, how does he do it? He doesn't go looking. He don't have no assignment, I'm going to look for a woman. That's not a spiritual man assignment. The spiritual man, he clearly knows this. A spiritual man knows that he is alone, but he's not lonely. Worldly men, they are lonely, trying to fill a void. That's why our worldly men pursue things and fleshly women. They looking for a void, but they don't understand the only person, what they're missing is Jesus. A spiritual man has Jesus. A spiritual man has a relationship with Jesus, but yet he's alone. He's not lonely. Remember when Adam was perfect, but Adam was not lonely. He was alone. A spiritual man knows he's alone, but he got a relationship with God. A spiritual man has a desire for a good woman. A good woman that happened to be imperfect. A spiritual man don't have no 10 bullet points. She must look like Halle Berry. She must be shaped like, who should I say? Who should I say? Let's say Angela Bassett. She have to be shaped like she has to be shaped like Angela Bassett. She got to look like Halle Berry, and she got to have the money like Oprah Winfrey. That's worldly men. Spiritual men don't go to God with a list saying, Lord, I want this woman to be like this. I want her to be this height. I want her to look this way. I want her skin color to be this way. I want her to have a PhD. I want her to already have a mansion. I want her to have $100K in the bank that she could give to me. I want her to have a car that I can ride in. I want her to be able to pay for me because I'm not gonna get a job. Worldly men. Spiritual men don't look at it. Spiritual men aren't impressed by what a woman has of this world. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with a woman having a PhD, a big house, and all that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with it. But that kind of stuff don't captivate a spiritual man. A spiritual man knows this. He know that in Genesis 2:18, and the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. Spiritual men know this. They know that it's not good for themselves to be alone. No matter what these guys be saying on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, spiritual, or these men on YouTube and stuff be telling men to go monk, leave women alone and stuff like that. That's going against God's plan. A woman was created for the man. It clearly said in God's word, the man was not made for the woman, but the woman was made for the man. Those are God's word. And the woman was created to be the man helpmeet. You see the difference between a spiritual man and a fleshly man. When a spiritual man look at a woman, he look at that woman with purpose in mind. How she's going to be with me as I follow God. I need a partner so we could follow God together. God have given me a gift. He have given her a gift. He have given her things. He have given me her. He have given her things. He have given me things. When God bring this certain woman together, God, just bring me a good woman. That's what a spiritual man be thinking. Lord, bring me a good woman. He don't tell God how the woman look. He don't tell the God how the woman shape. He don't tell the God a lot of stuff. He let God hand pick the woman for him. And when God hand picked the woman for the man, God brings the woman to the man through life circumstance. And that's how the man find the woman. He doesn't go looking for the woman. He living his life. The woman living his life. God is orchestrating all this behind the scenes. The man don't know who the woman is. He doesn't know her. A spiritual man does not know the woman that God's going to pick for him until he see her. That's when he knows it. Just like Adam, when Adam seen Eve, he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I should call her woman because she came from man. A spiritual man, and I should have said this a long time ago. You know, you all familiar with me saying a man know within a short period of time whether that woman wife material or not. Let me be more detailed tonight. I'm going to be more detailed. A spiritual man knows really by details whether a woman's supposed to be in his life. You see, a spiritual man, he looks at that character of the woman. Because God gives the spiritual man discernment for a particular type of woman. So this man got sight beyond sight. When this man sees a woman that potentially going to be his wife, he don't see that woman just with his eyes. He see that woman from the inside, from the Spirit of God. Because the Spirit of God get a flashlight and show the man the woman who's supposed to be for him. A spiritual man could be going out with different women. But in his heart, he said, I'm not going to settle because she's not the one. And he knows it. A spiritual man is not going to lead a woman and say, you and I are one. Spiritual men, they be very selective on how they talk to women. Spiritual men do not lead women on thinking that it's you and me, baby. They don't do that. They be very careful and selective because they don't want the woman to misconstrue where they're coming from. Now, a spiritual man, when he picks a particular type of woman, he's looking for a godly woman. A spiritual man is looking for a godly woman, but he knows she's not perfect. He knows that she's going to fall on her face sometime. He knows these things, but she got that light in her. He see Christ in that woman. And this what pissed some worldly women off about spiritual men. Some spiritual men, they could have been dating a worldly woman, right? They could have been dating her, but they didn't commit to her. She assumed that they had a relationship. He never told her they had a relationship. He was straight to the point and he was just going out with the woman dating. But he did say, it's you and me, so he didn't mislead the woman. Contrary to a fleshly man. A fleshly man will mislead a woman all day, every day. A fleshly man would tell a woman, I'm serious about you and I'm committed to you. But he won't tell her this directly. I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to marry you. He's not going to say that. And you all know the classic thing what I always say. A fleshly man is good at getting a woman what appears to be an engagement ring, but it's a shut up ring. Shut up. He go to a jewelry shop. This is what fleshly men do. They will actually take the woman to a jewelry store, right? They'll let the woman look at the diamonds and stuff, right? You know, they said diamonds are girl best friend. If a diamond is a girl best friend, she about to bust hell wide open because Jesus need to be her best friend. But that's a worldly man. Diamonds are the word. That's why these women, some of these women, they get so carried away when they want to pop a diamond ring in somebody's face. They look at a diamond ring. Nothing wrong with a diamond ring. Now, don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with it. But they look at this diamond ring as that's supposed to represent he loves me. He loved me. He loved me not. He loved me. He loved me not. Don't you? Some women, they have experience. Some women know right now they got a ring that they didn't show all their girlfriends and everything popping on Facebook. And you all know what they do. They just show a picture of their hand. They just show that picture of their hand with a ring. And that's the moment make other women say, oh, 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 that's so pretty. How much it costs? I wonder how much that costs. I wonder how much that ring costs. It got to be more than $5,000. Because it's about the pride. It's about what floats her boat. Most women, worldly women, are consumed with how much a ring costs because they equate how much a ring costs with love. Worldly women. Worldly women will cause a fleshly man to go broke. He going broke trying to please her and get in a hole. A spiritual man is not going to get in a hole for nobody but God. A spiritual man is disciplined. A spiritual man is not about the world stuff. Even though he live in the world, he's not of the world. So he want a woman in his life that's not of this world, but she's in the world. A spiritual man and a spiritual woman, they are pilgrims or strangers in this world. A spiritual man, a spiritual woman don't belong in this world, even though they're walking in this world. Just like Jesus was in this world, he was not of this world. A spiritual man is not of this world. A spiritual woman is not of this world. The most beautiful relationship that a man could have, a spiritual man, is a spiritual woman. A spiritual man, the best selection is let God select that woman. And you see the thing about it, when God select a woman for a man, and he have been, and say for instance, he been dating a worldly woman, but he didn't commit to a worldly woman or women. He's single. You see, that's what some people don't realize. When you single, you single. You ain't signed a contract with nobody. Let me say something about this. This go for you, brother, and you, sister. If you're not married, and especially if you're not engaged, if you just single, you've been going with somebody or playing house with somebody all the year, but you're not engaged. An engagement is a very short period of time. But you playing with time. You playing with somebody's mind. You playing with somebody's will. You playing with somebody's emotion. You playing with someone's body. You playing with someone's finances. And a whole bunch of other things. Spiritual men select spiritual women. Now, sometimes a spiritual man will make an error and choose a worldly woman. Sometimes it happens. A spiritual man does make mental errors sometimes. He falls sometimes. So I want you brothers and sisters to know, sometimes a spiritual man select the wrong type of woman. You know why? Because he didn't let God pick the woman for him. That's how they get messed up with these worldly women. Let me tell you let me tell you why a spiritual man will reject the woman. You all need to listen carefully to this. How you doing, Diane? Why does a spiritual man reject the woman? Why? The question is, why does a spiritual man reject a woman? She got to be worldly. Why does a spiritual man reject a woman? A worldly woman would never be part of a spiritual man. A worldly woman will slow a spiritual man down. Let me let you in on something. I have told you all something like this. A worldly woman would never follow a spiritual man. She would never follow him. She would pretend to follow him. If a spiritual man mess up and select the worldly woman, she will camouflage in what she thinks he wants. This is what worldly women do when they bamboozle a spiritual man. Spiritual brother, you single spiritual brother, never tell a woman exactly what you're looking for. That's between you and God. Never tell a woman what you exactly looking for. Because your thing is, if you're dating, date. Let God handpick the woman for you. Because if you tell a woman, spiritual brother, if you tell a woman what you're looking for, especially a worldly woman, she is going to form herself into what you're looking for. Because she sees something in you. She wants what you have. Worldly women don't want you, brother. They want what you have. It's not about you, spiritual brother. It's about what you have. Worldly women, they want security from godly men too. Worldly women, they would play the part to bamboozle you. And when you marry them, you ain't seen nothing yet, some of you spiritual brothers that end up with the wrong woman. Once you say I do to a worldly woman and you sign up, you just get a little taste of hell, hell, some of you spiritual brothers. You know why? Because you are following the spirit and this woman following the course of the world. That's why y'all going to have conflicts. And you know what? Let me just tell you all something what I know. If a spiritual man mess up and marry a worldly woman, you aren't equally yoked anyway. You aren't equally yoked anyway. And I'm going to tell you something that is true. Some spiritual men that are in a relationship with a worldly woman, the only thing that they have in common is sex. That's it. They don't have nothing else in common. There are some worldly women. They will fuss with the spiritual man. They will get all kinds of messed up. I'm just getting all kind of twisted. They will upset the man so much, and the only time a worldly woman will submit to a spiritual man is when she submit to him, when she laying on her back. And after he do his mister to her, she'll get up and she'll do the same thing. And some of you spiritual brothers, you know what I'm talking about. Your relationship has just gotten down to being a roommate, and every now and then, the high point of your marriage is when you and her have sex when you ain't fussing, or when you don't talk to one another. So the house is like Alaska in the summertime in Hawaii. You walk by her, you don't say nothing. She don't say nothing to you unless necessary. That's why you spiritual brothers, you have to let God handpick the woman. Now, let me tell you something, you spiritual brothers. When you do not make a mistake and marry a worldly woman, let's say you was out dating a worldly woman, and you knew within your heart that she's not the one, you didn't mislead her. And let me say something about this. There are some women that like to play the victim. Some women, especially those worldly women, they like to play the victim. They love to play the victim. They always want to talk about the man used them. A lot of times men don't use women. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. A lot of women, they be lying to everybody because they're looking for pity. Because the man did not select them. Sister, if you're single and that man's single, he doesn't owe you anything. Brother, she doesn't owe you anything if you just single. The question is, are you engaged to that woman? And when I say engaged, are you engaged to that woman? Once you get engaged to a woman, that marriage should be very close around the corner. Once you get engaged with a woman, you should be married. The maximum is within a year. Within a year. Once a man let a woman know, I desire you to be my wife, and she'll agree to it, you should be married within a year. Spiritual men really know within a short period of time. Let me tell you what drives spiritual men from women. Let me tell you what drives a spiritual man from a woman. I know some of you say, what drives a spiritual man from a woman? Being a victim. She always bringing up the past. Let's say, for example, this man had, he was seeing this woman, right? And he was trying to make it work. But she always bring up the past. She always want to say that you did this, you didn't do this. Those kind of women. They always the victim. And these type of particular women, they were the victim in other relationships. What they don't realize is that they the common denominator. So they meet this brother, and everything that don't go right, they want to blame it on the brother. Women that complain a lot, when spiritual men hear a woman that complain a lot and they want to play the victim, that's a big X. That's a big X. He's not going to go the distance with her. So I'm telling you now, sister, if you one of these type of women that complain a lot, and it's not nagging, but you complain a lot and you play the victim. Spiritual men don't have time for that extra baggage. He know that baggage come in a relationship because he got some baggage. But a man that's going to have a whole bunch of baggage and a whole bunch of lips and stuff and all that kind of stuff, no. A man that run into a woman that like to have a whole bunch of disagreements, Spiritual men aren't going that way. Spiritual man, let me tell you what turns a spiritual man out. A woman that comes to him with her hand out. It's not that the spiritual man is cheap. He knows that when a woman comes to him with her hands out, she's coming to use him. Spiritual guys are not going to let these worldly women play them. You see, worldly women, a lot of worldly women, they are into prostitution, but they don't want to be called a 403. You know what a 403 is? All you have to do, no, a 304, a 304. If you have a calculator, and I have showed you all this before, if you have a calculator, press 304. Okay, again, 304. Once you put 304 in your calculator, my brother and sister, turn that calculator upside down and see what that word is. They are basically 304s. And if you don't know what a 304 is, I'm telling you, put the number 304 in your calculator and turn it upside down. That's the women. Prostitutes. Worldly women operate on the spirit of prostitution. Just because they're not on the street, they call the street women prostitute. You see, the thing with these street women, they let you know straight up, hey, this is about business. I'm gonna trick you off, and you're gonna give me some money, and that's it. But no, you have a whole lot of worldly women, they playing the part of a harlot. They want the man to take care of them and stuff, and he's not married to her. And they figure if I get some resources out of the man, I give him a little song. Which means that makes the man the trick. So, brother, if you're single and you give this woman assets and money for sex, that means you are the trick. And it ain't, how you doing, Sister Nikki? You are the trick, and she is the 304. She is a big-time prostitute. Yes, prostitutes live big on the houses. Yes, prostitutes ride in Bentleys and stuff like that. You see, the world got some of you entangled. You see, a spiritual man, he knows what a 304 looks like. You know why he knows what a 304 looks like? Because God shows him what she is. She's not only a lady of the night, she's a lady of the daylight, the twilight, and every other type of light. See, a spiritual man said, I'm not gonna pay her for that. I need a wife for that. I don't need no for that. Because what that tell the man, she was a 304 before he met her. How you doing, Sister Nick and I? She was a 304 before he met her. So, if a woman is a contentious woman, if she likes to be the victim all the time, and she blame the man for everything, and she always talking about all the men in my past, they always did me wrong. What did you do? For all the men to do you wrong, what did you do? Why are you the victim in every case? What did you do? She like to fuss all the time. The man can't even he can't even visit her before he put one foot in. Yeah. She like to yap. You coming over to my house? Stop by the store and get this. He always calls them. A woman that really wants you for who you are, brother, she's not going to be in your pocket. Remember that, you spiritual brother. She's not going to be in your pocket. Worldly men don't care about women being in their pocket because they like playing the part of the trick. And you see, the trick man, the worldly man, he don't want to be called a pimp. But he is a form of a pimp. But he's another form of a pimp. You see, instead of him having the lady go out doing her service with other men, she giving him service personal. I'm just putting the curtain back to show you what a spiritual man doesn't tolerate. There's no woman that could, I don't care how pretty she is. Beauty does not get spiritual men. He could look at a woman and say she look good. But you see, a spiritual man, he would look at a woman and say, she's going to age. She's going to age just like me. She got a tight body now, but eventually she might get a little weight. Eventually she might get a little cellulite here and there. She might get a little stomach area now. Her breast's going to fall to the floor probably. I know she's going to age. But how does she think? That's what spiritual men think. How does she think? Does she think about God? If she thinks about God and she following God, even though she's imperfect, she's going to be the right woman for me. Because God is going to make it work. If we both follow God, he's going to make it work. Because I got a purpose. God knows I got a purpose. God knows that the man say to himself, God, I know who I am now. I know why I'm here now. I know who I am. I'm a son of God. I know why I'm here. I'm here to serve God and keep his commandment. Where am I going? I'm going to live a life whereas I can get people to turn to Christ. Now what do I need? I need a godly woman. I don't need a twerker. I don't need a woman that you see on Facebook all the time with glasses up talking about cheers and drinking. And then she drink and then then Sunday you see her in a congregation. Have you all seen these type of women? They be in the clubs and stuff and they be drinking, And they be doing all this stuff. Then the next thing you know, they want to put on Facebook. You see it come up live. They in a church program. Double standards. And is she perfect? No. Spiritual men don't like gossipers. What is a gossiper? Someone that come and tell everything. These type of women, their girlfriend tell them stuff. And then they turn around and come tell him stuff. So this man know if I tell her something, and this ain't got to be no pillow talk. If I tell her something, she's going to go out and tell everybody. A spiritual man don't like a woman that walk around and she don't care nothing about her reputation. She got a reputation out there because she earned it. Nobody ain't lying on her. It is what it is. That's who she is. She likes to be the person of the party. You take her somewhere, she the life of the party. Everybody know her. When you take her to around people, she up in all other type of men's face. And the other women that they could pick up on, they be pulling their men back from her. They say, I know that 304. She's a 304. And these type of women, this is what they call themselves. They sociable. They sociable. They like these type of women. Spiritual men don't get in a deep relationship with women that flirt a lot. They don't do it. They know I'm going down the wrong road with a woman that like to flirt with other men. Is she going to flirt? She's going to flirt with me. Why is she up in another man's face flirting sometime? What drives her to do this? What drives her to dress in a certain way to get the compliments from other men? She should be dressed a certain way so she could turn me on. Why is she dressing in a way to turn other men on? This woman, a spiritual man said, if I marry this woman, she's going to represent me when I'm not around. I know she's not perfect, but she's going to represent me when I'm not around. I represent God, so she got to represent me. When I go out, I got to think about God and this woman. When she go out, she need to think about God and me. If this woman, if I see that she's not like that? Spiritual men don't deal with a lot of worldly women. But the thing about it, a lot of worldly women, they're attracted to spiritual guys. For some reason, a lot of worldly women, I ain't saying spiritual women, a lot of worldly women are attracted to spiritual guys. They try to figure out what make them tick. The only thing, if a worldly woman try to figure out what make a spiritual man tick, it's no other than Jesus Christ himself. That would make him tick. Spiritual men know if a woman gonna set him up in a booby trap. These type of women, what they do, they will set a mice trap for the man. They will put some cheese on the trap. Or they will go fishing and put a bait on the hook. These are the type of women that you see want you to do something so it will cost you a whole lot of time in your life. Let me tell you all something, my brother and sister. A few years ago, there was this lady. How you doing, my grandson Bryson? There was this one lady. She called me and she made a proposition to me. And I know you all wonder what type of proposition the woman made to me. Now, I had several propositions, but this one stood out. She said, Tony, I want a baby. And I said, you want a baby? She said, yeah, I want a baby. I said, okay, why are you telling me? She said, I want you to be the father. And I said, why you want me to be the father? You see, I was entertaining myself. I said, why you want me to be the father? She said, well, you seem to be a good man, and I think you'll be a good father. And I'm listening to her, right? And I said, what do I supposed to do? Do I supposed to go to a sperm bank and donate my my essence to a sperm bank? She said, no, I don't want you to go to no sperm bank. I don't want you to go to no sperm bank. I want you to do it the natural way. And I said, what is the natural way? She said, how men and women have babies the natural way. And I said, oh, you want to do the thing, right? She said, yeah. And I said, how many times are we supposed to do this? And she said, how many ever time it take, you'll have fun doing it. And I said, mice trap. She put the cheese on the trap, but it didn't smell too good. You know what I mean? She put the bait on the hook, but I seen the hook. Another thing. This is another case what I ran into, my brother and sister. And I'm glad you all at the dinner table, because this one chick, she said, she called me. You know I do that this side stuff, you know what I do, the consultation. This woman, I'm thinking she had a problem, right? She gonna talk to me. She say, Tony, and I think I've told some of you all this before, Tony, I want to get married. I said, that's good, sister, you want to get married. She said, yeah. She said, I want to be your wife. I said, you want to be my wife? I'm already married. She said, I know you married, but I want to be your second wife. I said, how that supposed to work? She said, well, I live out of town. I will move where you at. I will move in the house where you at. When she said I move in the house where you at, she wouldn't talk about moving in with me and Cinderella. She would talk about actually moving in a house in the city where I stay at. She said, I'm going to move where you at. And she said, you don't have to leave your beloved Cinderella. And she said, she could be your wife. And she said, I'll be your second wife. And I said, how that supposed to work? She said, whatever you do with Cinderella, you do it with me. She just stay over there where she at, and I stay over there where I'm at. And you just be both our husband. I listened to it. Cheese on the trap, bait, but you see the hook. Those type of things, that was telling me something about the mindset of that woman. Brothers and sisters, I could write a book and tell you some stuff y'all would not believe. I could tell you all some stuff. You probably will believe it, but I can't tell you everything. But you all won't believe it. It seems like when a spiritual man is trying to follow God, even though the spiritual man he could fall sometime. Understanding, my brother and sister, a spiritual man could fall sometime, okay? He could fall, just like a spiritual woman. But you see, the thing about it, when a man following God, the world will say, "How you doing, Cynthia?" Yeah. The world, when a man is following God, spiritual man, Satan gonna try to get one of his daughters hooked up to the man. See, it's deep, my brothers and sisters. Satan gonna get one of his daughters to do something to be alluring to the spiritual guy. The spiritual guy, he has to have wisdom. He has to utilize his knowledge, his understanding, discernment. He got to see that woman for who she is. Is she a spiritual woman or she's not? That's what it's going to come down to. Spiritual men reject worldly women. A lot of worldly women do not know they're worldly women. A lot of worldly women, they say they believe in God. But when they talk, but you watch their actions. Watch how they roll. Because you all know the phrase, actions speak louder than words. That's true. You have to match their words and their actions. Worldly women are lazy. Worldly women are lazy. Worldly women do not understand the part where in Genesis 2:18, and the Lord God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. Should be alone. I will make him a helpmate." Lazy women, a spiritual man does not want a lazy woman. He's not looking for a woman that's going to be slaving in his house and all that. No, a spiritual man looking for a woman that's going to walk with him as he follows God. And the key thing before I leave out here, my brother and sister, a spiritual man only will select a particular woman that the key thing is, this is the key. If you don't know, learn nothing else. The key is a woman that will follow him. That's the key. Before I met Cinderella, and you all have heard it before, you're going to hear it again. Before I met Cinderella, Cinderella is the only woman that told me verbally that she would follow me. She was going to follow imperfect Tony. Now, a woman don't have to per se tell a man, "I'm going to follow you." She just chose to tell me that. And to this day, she does. So any woman that I met in the past that want to know what's so different about Cinderella, what's so different? The different was about Cinderella, she said she would follow me. You didn't. She did. I prayed to God for a woman to follow me. So I left it in God's hand. Years went by. I was about to settle. Years went by. I wanted to do it. I wanted to settle. But I prayed to God, "God, I want you to select a woman for me." Other women, what you looking for? What you looking for? You too picky. You too this, Tony. You too that, Tony. But Tony wasn't no fool, right? What did Cinderella have what some of the other women didn't have? She the only woman that told me she was going to follow me. She's the only one. That's the key for a spiritual man. A woman that's going to follow him as he follows Christ. If a woman is not willing to follow a man that follows Christ, yes, the man is imperfect. The woman is imperfect. But a spiritual woman, she will follow the man. He's not going to have to listen to her mouth all the time. She's going to be submissive. I'm not saying in a weak way. She's strong, but yet she's submissive. Worldly women, they always want to talk. They always want to battle the man. Can you imagine, my brother and sister, you get in front of Jesus trying to reason with him, and Jesus is supposed to lead you. You saying, "Okay, Lord, I see it your way, but this is my way." That's how worldly women do it. "I see your way, but this is my way. This is what I think." Those worldly women. Spiritual man don't want no world. That's why a whole bunch of worldly women, you're going to die with a little puppy and a cat in your house. That's going to be your husband. After your son leave you, because some women, they have those boy sons. Those boy husbands. They son is the man of the house. Because no other man don't want him long term. So the son go somewhere, and then the other men's running to these worldly women, and they aging 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and still trying to do things their way. Men were not created for a woman. First Corinthians 11:9. Men were not made for a woman. The woman made for the man. Some of these worldly women don't know this. A man was not made for you. You were made for the man. According to God's word, 1 Corinthians 11:9, a man was not made for the woman, but the woman was made for the man. You are not the prize. God is the prize. Worldly men would run after anything. Spiritual men do not. Worldly men pick women on their own. Spiritual men let God select the woman. That's the difference. The worldly men run after women, pursue women. Spiritual men don't do it. Spiritual men leave it up to God to select that particular type of woman, and they reject others. And with that said, my brother and sister, I hope that you all enjoyed the dinner for the night. I hope you did, because Chef Tony, we put it on tonight, then we brothers and sisters. We put it on. I hope that you all got filled up tonight. We got some more good dinner tomorrow. Coming to Chef Tony's kitchen tomorrow. I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters. Peace out.